Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Shrek. Today's lesson is about the Electoral College, but in this video we're specifically going to be talking about swing states and the youth vote. It might seem a little bit confusing why we're talking about that while we're talking about the Electoral College, but I promise it'll all make sense. So if we all want to open up our PowerPoints and go to slide 6, we have the beginning of our slides on this discussion point. So the slide is going to look like this. All right, and so swing states are states in which the political party, neither major political party, has a very strong hold on that state. So that state could swing either towards the Republican or the Democratic Party. And because most states, with the exception of Nebraska and Maine, have electoral votes that go entirely to one party or the other based on the popular vote of that state, it's very important to win these states because they're not assumed to be safe states. And safe states, on the other hand, are those states where the majority of voters are already expected to be voting for the Republican or the Democratic Party. So, for example, California is a very strongly Democratic state, so a lot of the times the Republican Party does not even bother to campaign and spend money in California because they know that that state is likely to go entirely to the Democratic Party, and all 53 of the Electoral College votes for that state will be going to the Democratic Party. On the other hand, Texas is a strongly Republican state for the most part, although there is some talk that this year it may be a swing state. But in the past, it has been a majority Republican state. So these states are very important, and they're very important for candidates who think they may be winning by a slim majority. Because these votes, you need to get 100 or 270 votes to win the majority of electoral votes and become the president. So we are also going to talk a little bit about the youth vote. So not only is the youth vote important because as students in high school, you are all part of the youth, but this year, 4 million Americans will turn 18 by the time of the election, between now and the election. So that's 4 million new voters. Additionally, Gen Z and millennials will make up 40% of the voters across the United States. So with a little bit of research, I found the states that have at least 40% of its entire registered voter population that are of youth. So these are your Gen Z and your millennials, basically anyone between the ages of 18 to 29. So those states are Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Florida. You can read the rest of them. They're also on this slide, the next one down. And the most important one, of course, here is Pennsylvania, because you are the voter in Pennsylvania, so you will be the one that's making that difference. So while we're also looking at this slide, I would like us to look at this graph that we have pictured right here. So this graph shows the voter turnout by age. All right, so who can read this graph and tell me which age group has the highest voter turnout? Yes, Mr. Scissor. The highest voter turnout is in the highest age population range, which is 60 and up. And which age group has the lowest voter turnout rate? Yes, Miss Glasses, the lowest voter turnout is in the lowest age group, which is between the ages of 18 to 29. And as we have said, it might not seem like these are important to put together, but the importance that we are trying to convey while talking about the youth vote and these swing states is that a lot of the time when we are talking about the Electoral College, students get very discouraged and think that their vote doesn't matter. But I'm here to tell you that it does. And as part of the youth and part of a large population of America, you have a very large say. And just to prove that to you, that is why we are doing this exercise. So if you go to the next slide, I have already separated out the swing states and the youth vote in a Venn diagram for you. And you can see that between the states that are the swing states this year, or are expected to be the swing states, and the states that have a population of 40% or more of those Gen Z youth millennials, 9 of those states are shared. Pennsylvania is among them. The other states are Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Florida, Iowa, Arizona, Michigan, New Hampshire, and Minnesota. So these states are going to be crucial battleground states, and the youth have a very large impact in those states. That means that the youth are going to be very influential in these elections that are coming up. So now I want you all to go on your computers, and I want you to look up how many electoral college votes each of these states in the both column have. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Wow, that was a quick few minutes. All right, so as I'm sure you have all looked up, the number of states, or number of electoral votes per state in the both column on our Venn diagram, you will see that there are 121 swing electoral votes that are greatly influenced by youth voters in 2020. So it doesn't matter if you're pro electoral college or con electoral college. What really matters is that your vote matters. So go out and vote, and remember that your voice matters. So while you're learning about the electoral college, just keep that in mind and still remember to vote and make sure that you are registered for the election if you are of age. Thank you guys. Have a good day, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.